What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another exciting episode of FORNEVERNEWS! The only news source that provides anything and everything anime and manga related, and we don't bore you, we get into it. Let's do it.
No matter how you feel, get it done. No matter how you feel, get it done. No matter how you feel, get it done. No matter how you feel, get it done.
Okay, people, so for the next hour, I've got some stories to talk to you guys about. Nothing fancy, just a little bit of this, a little bit of drama on the timeline. Why am I talking like that? I got some news stories, okay? We got about 50 minutes to an hour, as per usual, of news stories to get through. I'm excited to talk to you guys about them. I hope you're excited to hear about it. I guess without further ado, let's get started. Also, you can listen to FORNEVER News on all podcast streaming services, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts, you can listen to the show. Usually episodes are up on there before they hit YouTube. Just a thought. Let's get started. Okay, people, so first up on the agenda, I'm sure some of you have heard about this by now, but apparently Epic Games, and it was already confirmed a while ago, there was like, some licensing announcements and stuff, but it is actually coming to fruition that Naruto will be hitting Fortnite. Fortnite teases Naruto collaboration for November 16th. Epic Games' Fortnite video game teased a collaboration with the Naruto Shippuden anime series on its official Twitter account on Thursday. The tweet includes Naruto's English catchphrase, "Believe it!" along with the date, November 16th. Epic Games released the Fortnite survival game as an early access title in 2017, and it has since debuted on PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, Xbox One consoles, and on mobile devices. And basically, come November 16th, you're gonna be able to catch a body with Mr. Uzumaki. Like, hey, a part of me feels like maybe this is a good thing in terms of like, hey, Naruto is gonna show how much more of a cash cow it is, and ultimately it'll keep it going. But also, a part of me feels like, because like I remember when a bunch of my niece and nephew, they were all into Fortnite. None of them play it no more. And of course, there's still plenty of people playing it. I'm not saying just because my family isn't playing it no more that the game is dead. But it does make me wonder, like, maybe the game is not doing as hot as it was doing, even 2 years ago. And, bringing a title like Naruto, there's going to be Naruto skins and stuff like that to the actual game might bring people back in, might even bring people that don't really care about Fortnite, like, yo, Naruto's on there, let's play it for some shits and giggles, why not? And, it'll have people buy the skins and all sorts of stuff. Part of me feels like, maybe this is something to get an extra little boost. Even Call of Duty at some given point started to fall off, so maybe that's what's happening. Either way, still cool stuff there. It's always dope to see anime and games collaborating, and at the same time, it's a win for both of them across the board. So shout outs to that. I might actually play it. I don't know if I'll do a video on here, because I haven't done a gaming video in like ages on here. I mean, if you want to see that, let me know, and maybe I'll give it a try, even though I'm going to get owned and destroyed, and I'm going to humiliate our boy Uzumaki. But yeah, maybe I'll play with the Naruto skin come November 16th over on Fortnite. I'll download it if you guys want to see it bad enough, I'm just saying. But Naruto, Fortnite, November 16th, believe it. Okay, people, next up, apparently you could get yourself in a bit of trouble if you're making cakes with unauthorized licensed characters. Like, obviously, there's a lot of places, like even there's local stores over here that, like, I remember it was for my daughter's birthday, and like I wanted to get a specialized cake, and a lot of them said, well, we can't do that because of, copyright and stuff like that. So I totally get it. But when you actually hear them enforce these things, and like people get in legal trouble over a freaking cake because of the characters, a part of me is like, yeah, I get it, but it just sounds so silly. Like, imagine going to prison over putting fucking, I don't know, Pikachu on a cake. It just sounds ridiculous. Let's read, because apparently a woman got herself in some trouble over some Demon Slayer cake. Woman charged for selling 6.5 million yen in unauthorized Demon Slayer cakes. The Mukaishima Metropolitan Police Department charged a woman on Tuesday for breaking copyright law by selling unauthorized cakes based on the Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba franchise. The woman had sold cakes for 13,000 to 15,000 yen, about $113 to $131 each on Instagram. She had made about 6.5 million yen, about $56,000. Oh wow, almost 57 since July 2019. I need to start making some cakes, fam. You made almost 60 grand in a couple of years off of selling these cakes alone. I mean, they gotta be adding more. Like, there's wow, like, well, then again, in Japan, Demon Slayer is a massive phenomenon like never before. So Wow. The woman admitted to the charge, saying that she believed the cakes would sell well with popular anime characters and that she knew this was a crime. Customers submitted their desired images when ordering cakes. A production company noticed her cakes on Instagram in February and consulted with the police. Ah, come on, man. Come on. I know it's totally different, Western culture and Eastern culture. In Japan, they don't play with their copyright, especially stuff like that. And I think had she made $56 and not $56,000, I don't think they would have come for her neck like that. Well, no, actually, we've seen them. I don't know. They wild out there. They be wilding the hell out. Like, wasn't it just not that long ago? It was like a dude got arrested for like stealing like what? $13 in comics or some shit like that. Like, yeah, they don't play. They don't play over there no matter what, whether it's cakes, comics, whatever the case may be. And goddamn, what a hustle. If she would have got away with it, Jesus, she's making a living off of selling Demon Slayer cakes. Like, yo, that's freaking nuts. That just goes to show you though, like, look at how much money Demon Slayer is making. If a woman with her cake shop is making a living, an actual annual living off of Demon Slayer inspired cakes alone, they're making bank over there. Like Shueisha, there's a reason why. And that's kind of crazy too that they went after people, considering like, are they really cutting into your profits, considering y'all made $10 billion in the last 2 years off of this series that like just came out not that long ago. Like, yeah, I get it. I completely understand. I know I keep repeating myself, but I completely understand. It's your copyright. You can do what you wish. That seems like tyranny. I don't know. Like, it just seems like, come on. Just a lady selling some cakes. Let people get their hustle on. But the law's the law, my lord. And they got her. And yeah, I'd imagine they're gonna probably ruin her. You know, shop is gonna have to close down. She might even do jail time, which, oh my god. Like, imagine actually going to jail or prison for selling anime-inspired cakes. That's sad. That's sad. I wish her the best. Hopefully they, you know, don't give her too bad of a, whether it be sentencing or fees to pay or whatever the case may be. Because, come on, man, she was just trying to hustle, trying to make a living, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, messed up situation all around. And while we're on the topic of Demon Slayer, we got a little bit of Demon Slayer stories regarding the Hinokami Chronicles game, which I'm glad that we're already hearing something else, because I ain't gonna lie, the Rui DLC, it was what, Rui and Akaza have, you know, been out for a little bit, and I already started losing a little interest again, man. They made this game too bare bones, man. They really did, because like every time I pick up the controller and I play for a few days and it falls off. But at the very least, they're once again announcing more DLC for the Demon Slayer Hinokami Chronicles game. Let's take a look. Shoutouts to PS360HD2, that's my guy. He posted a few days ago that Suzumaru and Yahaba will launch as playable DLC characters as a free update to Demon Slayer Hinokami Chronicles in late November/early December. I'm gonna bet on maybe late November, but maybe I'll be, I don't know. Either way, it's those two characters. Remember, it's like early on in the arcs where they like having to hit those balls and the balls are like following Tanjiro and them. Like, they should have been in the game from launch. This is another one. Like Akaza and Rui, like you could argue, okay, maybe whatever, you want to make them DLC because they were like the popular villains, but these two guys, like, it's exciting in terms of like, because I like the game and it's like, oh shit, some new stuff to it, so that's why I'm excited. But these two definitely should have been in the game upon launch, hands down. Like, why was they even taken out to be added as DLC? And I get it, like, hey, they're doing free DLC, get excited. Like, that's not, that should have just been in the game from launch. This is them trying to keep the game going, and I'm happy and I commend them for making this DLC free. So it's not like we gotta buy a pass to get these characters that should have been in there to begin with. But come on, and it makes me wonder, right? Because they're doing these free DLCs, like I said, they did Kaza, Rui, now these two dudes, or well, dude and chick, or whatever. I'm wondering if once we get to Season 2 content, when we get to characters like the next Hashira that's popular, Uzui, and everything to come from the Red Light District, are those going to be free DLCs as well? Or are they going to have, I highly doubt it. More than likely, once we get to Season 2, and we get to like the new content from that stuff, that's probably going to be a whole entire new map, and a new boss battle and stuff like that. That's probably going to cost. That's going to be the first DLC pack. So they're trying to keep the game alive until that actually airs on TV, and then they could probably drop that and then actually start charging people. That's my assumption on what's happening here. They're keeping the game alive long enough to start charging, like, hey, this is a whole new thing, a whole new addition to the game, keep getting back into it, which I really like the game, man. I really wish there was more to it because I really, really like this game. I've been saying for like a year plus now that I can't wait for this game. And when it came out, I ain't gonna lie, I was playing it nonstop as a little time has gone on. And again, I'm not the biggest gamer, so there's also that to add into the whole equation. But I'm slowly starting to fall out of it. And this DLC isn't the most exciting. Like, it's exciting enough that I will pick up the controller again when they drop this to see how they play and whatnot. But Hinokami Chronicles, what could have been upon launch and what they're doing now, I don't know. Maybe this DLC will be fun, who knows. But yeah, some free DLC coming late November, early December for the Demon Slayer Hinokami Chronicles game. And it's these two characters that should have been there from the jump. Okay, people, next up, some Jujutsu Kaisen related news. For starters, well, honestly, it's just really all good news, I guess you would say. Because according to this, it says Jujutsu Kaisen stage at Jump Festa 2022 will be held on December 19th at 11:30 a.m. JST. So we'll probably on late December 18th be hearing whatever the heck is about to happen. So it'll probably be in the nighttime of the 18th. But then following that, it was a few days later that I actually heard something even more awesome. Because with a big Jump Festa stage, for starters, definitely they're going to be promoting the upcoming Jujutsu Kaisen 0 film. They just dropped that immaculate trailer and all of that jazz, and I can't freaking wait because I want to say, if this is taking place over there on the 19th, that's only 5 days away from the movie dropping over there in Japan anyways, so they're going to be heavily promoting that. But according to this right here, it has been leaked out that it says either during Jump Festa or pre-Jump Festa, depending on when the info drops, new info of the Jujutsu Kaisen TV anime will also be delivered. Essentially, we might get right around that time, like, oh, by the way, guys, season 2, here's a little key visual that'll be dropping maybe end of 2022 or something like that, because I still feel like it's a little early. We just finished Jujutsu Kaisen season 1, what was it, March? I want to say, like, it was somewhere like earlier in this year, so we probably won't be getting season 2 on maybe summertime around there or fall of 2022. Maybe I might be off on that, because also, you know, they want time to let the movie breathe and push it everywhere into theaters, although it would be a phenomenal idea, right? If the movie is dropping over there in December 24th, maybe we get it February, March over here, maybe a little earlier, depending on how quickly they want to release it. I hope it's as early as hell, because I really want to see this film, I'm just saying. But maybe they drop it around that time, and it would be perfect to kind of coincide over here of like, bam, the movie came out, and it's hyping up, yo, season 2 is coming right along with it. Like, even just throwing a little visual at the end, by the way, season 2, 2022, let's go. Like, that would be freaking hype as hell. But if we're getting that, that means they're going to promote, of course, the film, and at the same time announce season 2, which a lot of people probably will even be more invested in. Oh, season 2 announced. Oh, season 2, we getting a trailer or a key visual. I don't know if we'll get a trailer just yet. I want to say maybe we're a little shy from a trailer. I could be wrong on that, especially considering, again, they want to really promote, you know, the upcoming film, so they're probably not going to drop a trailer. I could see maybe a PV visual, or maybe just an announcement of like, hey, a year, 2022 Jujutsu Kaisen season 2, or early winter 2023 Jujutsu Kaisen season 2. Something along the lines of that is what I'm guessing, considering, again, that's also a very high quality production, and while MAPPA, they be delivering the goods, it's a lot of strenuous work, and I would hope that they would at the very least have learned their lesson, considering all the outrage that happened just a few months ago of, you know, their practices and whatnot being revealed, of being very harsh and absurd, to say the least. That, okay, let's give them a little bit of time to actually, like, they're gonna crank out some great stuff and get y'all a whole bunch of money, exposure, and all that jazz. Let these animators live a little, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, people, Jump Festa 2022 Jujutsu Kaisen stage release date, and also seemingly some TV anime announcements that more than likely, again, I want to say maybe just a date, or, you know, a ballpark date for season 2 of the anime. But it also could be on the off chance of, hey, we're gonna re-air season 1 around the time that the movie dropped, which, like, if I really wanted to rewatch Jujutsu Kaisen, and I get it's a little different over there in Japan, but if I want to rewatch it, I'll just go on, you know, the 5 million apps that I pay for to rewatch it. Yeah. Okay, people, next up, drama on the timeline. Drama on the timeline. Because, and yes, I did try to carry that no, I don't know if y'all caught that, and I'm like, yo, I'm doing my thing now. People, apparently a little bit of drama, and hopefully nothing happens to this person, because at the end of the day, I don't want to see somebody lose their job over this. But seemingly one of the official, not just like, you know, I'm on Twitter, like, no, they were an official one. I think they translate stuff for like the Manga Plus app, if I'm not mistaken. One of the official translators for the Boruto manga, a little bit of drama happened over the last couple days because apparently she had posted something basically accusing Masashi Kishimoto of being sexist, and a lot of people assume that the reason she posted that was she got the latest chapter a bit early and saw it, and maybe it had something to do, whether it be with the character Ada or Sarada or something along the lines of that, and that's why this person went on to say that. Just quickly to read a translation, which is not the greatest, but it says, Kishimoto wrong, very bad, you are a fucking macho of the balls, because it's actually was written initially in Spanish, said, Kishimoto mal, muy mal, eres un puto machista de los cojones, and I was there like, okay. A part of me feels like, first of all, like, yo, you gotta understand what you're doing here, fam. You're risking your job just to say something like that. Like, it would be different if you would say like, oh my god, I don't know how I feel about the Boruto manga and coming, because that's your job at the end of the day. You're talking about the higher of higher ups, because if you work as a translator for Manga Plus, you're working under Manga Plus, and Manga Plus is working under the head corporation over there in Japan, and they're working under Shueisha, and Kishimoto is above a whole bunch of you motherfuckers. So essentially you're talking about the boss's boss type of deal, the boss's boss's boss type of deal when you say things like that, and it can lead to a lot of trouble, and a lot of people were very, very upset with her. I'll be honest with you, like, yeah, in the past Kishimoto has been accused of not being the best, and he's even admitted to it, that he's not the best at expressing female characters. He just doesn't understand females, then that's okay, that's a, you know, flaw. Humans have flaws and whatnot. So for this person to have said that, I feel like maybe they were a bit emotional about it. Maybe they read the chapter early and something happened. Maybe they were really digging Ada's character and something went wrong in terms of like, she's not as badass or as cool or anything as we thought she would be, or maybe she's simping too hard for one of the characters. Something along the lines of that is what I'd imagine happened. But yeah, it caused a bit of a stir. And again, I don't necessarily agree with what she said either, in terms of like, there's other ways to go around it, especially considering that's your boss technically. Like, you're talking shit about your boss. Could have easily just said something like, wow, I'm not sure how I feel about the latest chapter, or oh, I'm really not digging what just happened, but y'all check it out when y'all read it, whatever. So yeah, we gotta wait and see, because now I'm kind of curious, like, what the hell, why are you accusing him of being sexist? Like, we haven't heard this type of slander on Kishimoto's name in a long time. What's going on here? So yeah, I'm very interested in reading the upcoming Boruto chapter, just in general. Like, it's one of the last ones of the year, so I'm sure they're probably going to give us something epic, hopefully, possibly. Either way, it's going to stem from some of this drama that I'm pretty excited to see what Kishimoto's sexist, or, you know, misogynistic, essentially, ass had to do and had to say with this latest Boruto chapter. Seriously, it ain't that deep. I think a lot of people also were being a bit harsh on her and, like, calling her all sorts of names and stuff like that. Like, yeah, I don't agree with what she did, but cut her some slack, man. She just seems like, honestly, she was a passionate fan. Like, sometimes you can double with not only being, you know, in your work, but also as a fan, and that's one of the most beautiful things, is when your fandom and your work can coincide. Again, you're a professional, so you gotta act accordingly, but the roasting was a little extreme from what I saw on the timeline. I was like, god damn, they're cooking this woman. But either way, leave Kishimoto alone. That's the GOAT. You can't do that stuff. Like, I'm sorry. You gotta relax, fam. You gotta relax and be grateful that he's even involved in any capacity with Boruto, because for better or worse, it's his baby to begin with. He created Naruto. Yeah. Okay, people, moving forward now. I've been doing a little bit of these lately. In case you don't know, I'm usually calling them the rise and fall of X series. This is all thanks to the research, very well done, by the way, of Jos_Ke over on Twitter. And this time around, he gave us the sales statistics of the run of the Haikyuu manga from, which volume is this? I want to say volume, yeah, okay, I think it's from the first volume on, and basically the quote-unquote rise and fall, I guess you would say, or evolution, because again, this isn't really even it's a rise, but not necessarily a fall, because it was a gradual, slow decline, but nothing insane, because it starts off with, like, of course, the first volume ain't gonna do fantastic by any means, you know, it's the first freaking volume, and it's a sports series. A lot of people, it takes a bit of time with a sports series to get invested, so it was like, you know, very, very low. As we get to like volume 4, we're already hitting the 200,000 mark, and it stays steady on there, and then it's around volume 10 that the anime begins, and boom, right when the anime begins, it's already up to 400,000 in sales, and then as it continues to peak, it goes all the way up to 800,000, and it stays around there between 700 and 800,000 for a bit of time, and then it's not until volume 27 that you start to see a little decline, but it's actually really interesting. This is what kind of fascinated me and made me wonder, and it could be also because maybe the anime seasons were just really freaking knocking, and that's why this happened, because then around volume 43, we start to see a big incline once again up until the final volume 45, and again, it could be that things just got real spicy in the end, and a lot of people started checking it out. Could be that the anime was really popping at that point, and people were just like, yo, I gotta go get some more Haikyuu, because that is really insane to go out on an incline. Most people, like, if they get that incline, well, we could squeeze 1 or 2 more volumes, right? You could write a little bit more, good old author. So the fact that they actually ended it on a pretty significant note, it ended, the last volume was at 600,000, not far off from, you know, the peak numbers. That's really dope, and Haikyuu, it held it down for the sports arena. I'll never forget around the time, because I actually had seen Haikyuu before I watched Kuroko no Basket, and I remember I was like, man, yo, sports series, they actually really be popping, man. I didn't know I was missing out. Then I went on and got obsessed with Kuroko and watched like the first 2 seasons in a couple of sittings. It was insane. I really loved it. I was like, yo, freaking essentially adding like quirks to basketball and shit. It was insane. It's thanks to Haikyuu though, because it was like I gave Haikyuu a try, and then my mind was a little more accepting and open to the idea of watching more sports stuff. And yeah, Haikyuu, really dope stuff, man. One day I do got to go back and watch it all and finish it up, because it was a really awesome thing. And I remember I just loved the dynamic of the 2 main characters, Hinata and, was it Kageyama? Forgive me on that, on the name, but I had a blast with what I did see. And yeah, it's really dope to see that towards the very end it wrapped up on an incline. That's not a rise and fall. That's just I guess we'll just say evolution, right? Like, that's the easiest one to throw. Evolution of the Haikyuu manga's sales performance, and wasn't that bad at all. Honestly, even the decline, at worst, it was like slightly low, which that means that he was steadily writing a really dope narrative. Like, people didn't get bored of it. People wasn't falling off. It was right there. So shout outs to Haikyuu. Moving forward, people, we got the weekly Shonen magazine author comments. Let's begin. Opening up, we got some jokes. Some jokes. The creator of the 7 Deadly Sins / now the 4 Nights of the Apocalypse, Nakaba Suzuki, said, I feel like I'm going to faint from all the announcements that are coming next year. Look forward to it. I know why you're gonna faint, fam. You saw that 3D CG of that latest trailer. You were like, this is some bullshit. What they doing to my title? It's like, oh. Eventually, I'm gonna dive more into it, because I did a little bit of a breakdown on CGI in one of my latest videos. Check it out. It was an effing rant. But just in general, the 7 Deadly Sins as a whole, I am almost done. I got like 2 episodes, I think, left of the anime, and I'm gonna go into the ins and outs of that bad boy. But my god, yeah, I don't know what you about to faint from other than the disappointment of what they've done to your baby. Nakaba Suzuki, like, maybe the bag is great, so you live in life, and congrats. If you got the bag, I'm all happy. I always love to see artists and creatives get the bag, quote unquote, because, like, yo, you deserve some success. But ultimately, like, fam, you gonna faint because it's atrocious what they done did to it, okay? Like, we went from pretty top tier season 1, pretty awesome season 2. Season 3 is like, where are we going with this? This is bad. Season 4, oh no. Season 5, kill me now. Take me out of existence. Oh, I'm going off on a tangent. Shout outs to Nakaba Suzuki though. Like, your manga is awesome. Its anime adaptation counterpart, no, not so awesome. Moving forward, we got Hiro Mashima, creator of Fairy Tail, 100 Years Quest, Rave Master, and of course, Eden Zero. He said, a Creators Lab project was announced. It pays for itself at a cool 10 million yen. A Creators Labs project. Well, makes me wonder if that has something to do with like his whole video game creation thing. A Creators Lab project was announced, or is that something else entirely? Maybe like a new story or a new game he's working on. I haven't heard nothing about that yet. A Creators Lab project. But Hiro Mashima, he's always on to the next one. This man is a hustler. This man is a worker. This man gets it done. Always got to give props to Hiro Mashima. He's on to the next one. Always. Like, this is true inspiration right there. I ain't gonna lie. Then we got Ken Wakui, author of Tokyo Revengers, which pretty much is one of the big ones that own 2021, he said, Suyahime is delicious. So delicious that I'd eat it and walleye pollock roll every day if I could. I have no idea what he's talking about, but you do you, fam. You did great. Tokyo Revengers, massive success. I need to catch up. I'm starting to fall behind. I was letting the chapters build or whatever, but you do you, fam. Ken Wakui, enjoy whatever the hell you're talking about. I have no idea. Then we got Atsushi Okubo, author of Fire Force. They said, I've been using those thingies that make your face tingle when you pull them off and are supposedly good for your skin. Though because I've been riding my bike at 50 kilos lately and doing face exercises, I can't tell if it does me any good at all. Okay. Okay. What the fuck? I don't know what I'm doing. Shout out to Atsushi Okubo, always with some random ass weird shit. If it's not about video games, it's weird shit. The dude loves to be weird. Why not? Maybe I'm a little weird too, lads. Why not? And then I guess we'll wrap it up. I always like to throw a little random one in there from Ranger Reject. Negi Haruba said, drawing bear cubs is as easy as it appears. Yeah, I'd imagine drawing a bear isn't that difficult. You just draw like a big circle, little detail on the face. Like, yeah, that kind of makes sense. Shout outs to Negi Haruba and Ranger Reject. I really want to get into that. I keep saying that. I got to find the time to do it. And yeah, people, those were the weekly Shonen Magazine alt comments. Some weird shit, fainting from CGI. Then just in general, always a good laugh and a good piece of insight into these authors. Shout outs to them. Okay, people, next up we got a little more insight into the upcoming new manga from the creator of Fullmetal Alchemist, Hiromu Arakawa, and what it's looking like, and just a little more insight. It says here, Fullmetal Alchemist's Hiromu Arakawa launches Yomi no Sugai manga on December 10th. We already covered the date and all that jazz. It says, the December issue of Square Enix's monthly Shonen Gangan magazine revealed on Friday that Hiromu Arakawa's new manga is titled Yomi no Sugai, The Hinge of the Underworld. I like the English title, like now that I understand the Hinge of the Underworld. That sounds kind of dope. And it will launch in the magazine's next issue on December 10th. The magazine teased in July that Arakawa was launching a new manga soon, and the image that we got here, because this is the first colored image, I want to say, we only had like that black and white sketch that we've seen for quite some time. The one of the characters, they look aight. They got a little bit of swag, I guess, with the scarf and the drip, whatever. But the other one in the black coat, that dude looks badass. I'm excited. I don't know what Hiromu Arakawa is going to be doing. It looks like it's going to be potentially a battle series. And Fullmetal Alchemist, legendary series. People regard it as the best, if not one of the best anime out there. And is partially, mostly due to Hiromu Arakawa's manga. You know, the original manga, the source material. And it says here, we got some insight on it. The manga centers on Yuru, a boy who lives in a remote mountain village, spending his time hunting birds and being one with nature. But one day, Yuru's younger sister Asa is called to serve in the jail at the heart of the village, her duty also confining her there. Yuru slowly unravels the unnatural mystery hidden beneath his quiet village. So yeah, like I said before, I'm going to be doing a first impression at the very least on this. This is Hiromu Arakawa's next big shonen series. It's been a while. I know Hiromu has been doing a couple of different things. Like we had that Silver Spoon, it's like Life on a Farm type of series that had a few seasons. I never really could get into it, to be honest with you, but I know she did that. And then she was also co-working on, what is it, the Heroic Tale of Arslan or something like that. I want to say she was also a part of that. I think that was just for character designs though. I don't think she was actually writing it. And now this is her next big work. I'm hyped. I don't know if she'll be able to recapture the magic that she had with Fullmetal Alchemist, but I'm definitely going to give it a shot. Character designs look cool. Story sounds a little interesting. Title sounds kind of hype. Let's see what it do. Honestly, Hiromu Arakawa, welcome back into the fold of the manga business and the hustle. Okay, people, next up, we just got a small little update on the Baki Hanma anime. It says here, a new visual for Baki Hanma anime streaming on Netflix, and my god, I ain't gonna lie, I wish I was more caught up. Here's my problem with the Baki anime that has been coming out lately. I never finished the old Baki anime. I know, shame on me. I know, get it off, let it out. Go ahead, tell me what it is. I get it. I never finished the original Baki anime, so every time I see these things, I'm like, man, I would love to watch this shit. This looks hype as hell. Just big, muscly dudes punching each other. And everything I've heard about Baki's father, Ogre, he just sounds like a freaking beast. I love to hear about it. And it looks so, like this visual right here, it looks crazy. It's like two muscly dudes that look like one looks like a damn near demon pummeling on the other dude. This sounds hype. This sounds like just something like, yo, I'm about to just turn my brain off and see some epic action, carnage, monstrosity of muscles going in. And I can't really do that because I don't want to get spoiled and I don't know how I could enter myself into it. I mean, I remember back when it first hit, I thought that it was a reboot. So I had watched the first couple episodes and I'm like, why are they talking like if, oh, Baki already, oh, this isn't the beginning. And then I went back and I started rewatching some of the, first few episodes of the original anime. And it's just not really readily available to find the original Baki anime. So that's something that I hope that they do better with, because like, why isn't that on Netflix? Like that's the easy slam dunk. Put the old Baki anime so that way people could get into the franchise, and then boom, they could hop into Baki, Hanma, and everything that they've dropped in the last couple years. That's honestly what's been stopping me, because I look at that shit and I'm like, I want to watch it. It looks so cool, but I gotta watch the original first. Definitely Netflix should do better. Also, the whole dubbing fiasco of them having a different dub from the home video release, that's very, very silly. Like, Netflix need to get up off that. I get it. You spent your money on the dub and whatnot, and you got a price that you want, but come on, y'all really doing bad on that home video release. How y'all gonna license this shit for home video to somebody and then be like, well, you gotta make your own audio? Like, I don't know, Netflix, do better on that aspect, because y'all have something that looks really awesome and I can't watch it yet anyway. Moving forward, just a slight nod that Fate Zero just recently had its 10th anniversary, and they did a special illustration of two of the most legendary characters, two of my favorite characters. And Fate Zero, in case you don't know, is one of my favorite and what I regard as probably the best, if not one of the best anime of all time. This epic visual of Kiritsugu Emiya and Kotomine Kide, and oh man, when I first saw it, I was hyped. I was like, oh my god, are they gonna do like some type of addendum to it or whatever? And there's really nothing that can be done, because the sequel to Fate Zero is Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works, and they've done like 4 different, I don't even know how many adaptations Fate Stay Night has had at this point from the different routes. They did the Unlimited Blade Works film, they did the original Fate Stay Night, the Fate route, with Studio Dean. Oh my god, Studio Dean ruining anime since I don't know when, but they did that. Then they of course had the Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works TV series, like, and they got the 3 movies that they just put out, the Fate Stay Night Heaven's Feel route. So yeah, there's not much really you can do at this point in the first, other than to just rewatch and appreciate. Fate Zero is a legendary classic. I think it came out like in 2012, and man, there's just something about this series that the writing is just so top of the line. The setups, it's like it has the battle and action, the beautiful art and animation. This is why when Demon Slayer first got announced for the Studio Ufotable, I was screaming, oh my god, Demon Slayer is about to have one of the best shonen anime adaptations of all time. And people were like, oh, you're exaggerating. Oh, well, look at here. Demon Slayer is the biggest thing ever in existence, the highest selling movie. I wonder why. Like, oh, Studio Ufotable, because Fate Zero was godlike. I knew, I had faith in them. Like, I had faith in Fate. Hey, no, I had faith that they were going to be able to grand slam dunk on it, and they did. And Demon Slayer, y'all see what the hell that is. And a lot of my faith in them had to start off with Fate Zero and just how godlike it is. So big congrats to Fate Zero, 10-year anniversary. It actually had to have come out in 2011 then, right? Like for 10 years, I don't know. Yeah, it's really dope to see they did something there. I would love, I don't know, man, maybe a reimagining or something that there's really not much you could do. Like, as much as I'd salivate to see more of that timeline, Kotomine and Kiritsugu Emiya, there's really not much they could do. So just cherish what it is. And if you haven't seen Fate Zero, you don't need to have watched anything else. Just go watch Fate Zero and enjoy this god tier anime. It's like 24 episodes, 25, 24, something like that. Like, it's a god tier anime for the 10th anniversary. You will have a blast. It's a little slow, some people argue, the first half or so, or the beginnings of it. I think you need all of that setup, because afterwards, it is just an emotional and crazy, insane, action-packed, everything above roller coaster ride, and you will appreciate it. Fate Zero, baby, 10-year anniversary. Big congrats to Nasu, everybody involved, Gen Urabuchi, like, legendary series, man. Fate freaking Zero. I know I fanboyed over this, over a damn illustration. I don't care. I love Fate Zero. Okay, people, next up, a small update, or a big update, on Dragon Ball's latest couple of games, because according to this, it says Dragon Ball Fighterz and Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 have 8 million copies shipped, and they did a commemorative promo, and they both sold 8 million copies individually. This is not combined, so this is essentially almost 20 million copies of these two games combined, and that's crazy. I didn't think that Fighterz would have caught up to Xenoverse 2, considering Xenoverse 2 had a pretty lengthy head start. I want to say, what, like 3 years? Well, yeah, that's not the biggest, I guess. And Fighterz, at the end of the day, the mechanics of it was a real fighting game, and anime fighters don't really get that. It had a real, mechanics to it and all that jazz, and it's crazy. Wow, man, 8 million. That's probably also why they don't seem like they're in a rush to get the next iteration of Dragon Ball games out there, because people are still supporting this. I'll never forget, it was like probably last year maybe, or early this year, I had made an offhanded comment on Twitter like, who the fuck even plays these games? These shits is dead as hell. Why are they putting DLC out? And I got fried and cooked like a motherfucker. They were like, how dare you, you stupid ass, you don't know shit, this community's still thriving. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, yeah, that's why they don't really care. They got, like, 16 million copies out there. And Fighterz, I'd expect to be a little bit more lively, just because, again, it's a real fighter. Like, it's a real fighting game. And it's things that is competitive. They have tournaments and all sorts of stuff for that. So I'd expect Fighterz. But Xenoverse 2, man, it has a dedicated community as well. Craziness. And I just can't even believe it. 8 million a piece, almost 10 million copies a piece for these games. I would love a new Dragon Ball game, though. I'm just saying, with an original story at this point. We don't need a redo. Oh god, I do not ever in my life again. Like, we just had Kakarot not that long ago, which that means that Kakarot probably didn't sell that well if they didn't put it up there. I mean, then again, it's probably because Kakarot just came out like a year ago, so yeah, it's not going to be anywhere close to these numbers. But, and yeah, even though we got Kakarot, I'm ready for a brand new adventure. Like, I don't want to play through Raditz, Frieza, Cell, the androids, Boo. Like, I'm done. I'm good. I played it a billion times. My whole childhood consists of fighting the same motherfucking creatures and robots and aliens and stuff. Like, can we just get a brand new one? Whether it just be focusing in on the story from Super or some original stuff. Like, I love the aspect of, like, Xenoverse 2, how they had the whole time travel thing, and it was like a brand new story, and it felt like Dragon Ball Online, because it was, a remake of Dragon Ball Online, essentially taking the whole basic concept behind it and, utilizing it to the game. Like, I would like an original story again. Like, that's something that I think they should do, with some really fire mechanics behind it, whether it be, again, Xenoverse 3 or whatever it is. I'm ready for that. Like, Kakarot was cool, but god, if I have to see Gohan run from dinosaurs again, like, oh, like, if I want to experience that content again, I will rewatch the anime, like I do pretty consistently. But shout outs to Xenoverse 2, shout outs to Fighterz, 8 million apiece. That's no small feat. That's why Dragon Ball is always usually leading the charge into the next generation of whatever the heck these companies are trying to accomplish in the gaming field, in the anime field, the manga field, whatever. Okay, people, next up, this is a painful one, because we got sales, all the latest sales for the latest manga volumes, all that jazz. We got them in, and it's painful. And it's painful because this is really probably why Red Hood got the nail in the coffin and was axed. In case you don't know, the Hunters Guild Red Hood, it was a brand new manga, ran for now 18 chapters and got canceled, got the axe, however you want to call it, very premature. And the fact that a lot of people over here on the West actually rocked with it, but they still canceled it, means that Japan absolutely hated it. But then when you see these numbers, because right here we got, for starters, we got the jump volumes and the sales that these volumes did, and I look at these numbers and I'm like, damn, Japan really didn't give a shit about this manga at all. Because looking here, for starters, we got a few different other series, so we're going to take a quick look at that. We got Dr. Stone. It did 107,000 with its latest volume. Dope. Elusive Samurai, 41,000. Sakamoto Days, 25,000. Witch Watch, I'm always shocked to see, like, 20,000. Okay. And then High School Family, not ranked. Red Hood, not ranked. Nero, not ranked. I was like, alrighty then. They not ranked? Maybe they still did alright. Yo, if Witch Watch did 20,000, maybe Red Hood did like 15 or something. 14. Why not 13? Somewhere around there, right? And here's a really weird one, right? Because, okay, it says, according to Shoseki estimations, on the first week, Red Hood did 4,331 copies. I just saying that number alone, yeah, they axed it. Like, yo, it gotta go. It has to go. That's really, really low. Maybe if they would have did a US release, numbers would have looked different, because, again, a lot of people were really digging this series. I don't know if it would have changed anything, but yeah, 4,300 copies, not good at all. That's probably why right after the volume started getting printed up, oh, it's canceled, it's over, that's it. And that was a nail in the coffin, more than likely. Like, that's bad. Like, a newbie should ideally be doing at least like 8 to 15,000, somewhere in that ballpark, in order for them to be like, well, sales are alright. But it already was doing horrible in the rankings. The Japanese readers wasn't feeling it. And then these sales, that was a nail in the coffin. This is why essentially Red Hood flopped, which it doesn't make sense logically. Like, this is a great story, interesting characters. It shouldn't have flopped. but it did. And oh my god, those last few chapters, so daring, so bold of Yuki Kawaguchi, the way they wrote those last few chapters of being very meta, being very self-aware, and at the same time it felt like just being bold. Honestly, like I felt like this is bold, and I really respected it. And I know for a fact, I gotta throw this into the air, that Yuki Kawaguchi still has a bright future. Like, you failed with this one, you're gonna come back. This is your Sensei no Boge, this is your Hungry Joker, My Hero Academia and Black Clover is to come, okay? Like, don't worry, Yuki, we're gonna hold you down. Whatever you drop next, I'm reading that shit hands down. And the crazy thing about it, right, is that Red Hood sold 4,300, canceled it, got it out of here. However, a manga that's been running in the magazine for a bit now, High School Family, sold less than that, sold 4,076. Now they say it's different rules because this is a comedy manga, and comedy manga, they look at it from different avenues and not necessarily only about, you know, the sales and rankings. But I don't know, I just feel like that's bullshit. Like, if Red Hood got canceled and it's selling more than that, and this is its, you know what I'm saying, like, okay, whatever, Jump got their weird ways, why not? And then Niru, which again, I knew Niru wasn't gonna last, only 3,000 in its first week for its first volume. Yeah, they got that shit out of here. But also, Niru had a little cult following. I could see the author of Niru returning as well, alongside the author of Red Hood, for their next big series, whatever it's going to be. So look out for them. Look out for them. Next time you hear their names, look out for them, because I think they're going to come back and dominate. Once, like, the big dogs, My Hero, Black Clover, and all of them start to wind down and get out of the magazine, these might be the next generation of authors. I'm calling it. And while we're on the topic of sales, let's take a look at the top 50 best-selling manga of the week in general, not only just Jump volume. Starting off from 50 to 41, let's see, we got Sengoku Gombe. I have no idea what the heck that is. Tokyo Revengers still selling, volume 1, another 10.9. Wow, so Tokyo Revengers still making moves. We got Fire Force 31. Oh god, it almost sold exactly damn near what Tokyo Revengers 1 did. That's crazy. Then more Tokyo Revengers. Okay, 44 to 41 is all Tokyo Revengers. So Tokyo Revengers still not completely knocked out of the ballpark yet. Oh wow, going from 40 to 31, aside from like what, 2 books, everything else is Tokyo Revengers. It's just this number 40, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that giant ass name. And then 36, Yubiwa no Eranda Konyakusha. Yeah, that's the only 2 volumes. Everything else Tokyo Revengers. So Tokyo Revengers still not out of the woods yet. Tokyo Revengers still not out of the game yet. Like, it's still doing very well. Then volumes 30 through 21, again Tokyo Revengers. Zero no Tea Time at 27. Hitalia, I always thought that Hitalia was an anime original. I never knew that it actually had like a manga in and of itself, but this is a character book, so maybe that, I don't know. Blue Lock volume 16, 13,000 this week, and that's 26 days in total of release. Then we got Tokyo Revengers again. Goddamn, that's the latest one I want to say right there, volume 24 if I'm not mistaken. Then volumes 20 through 11, we got, let's see, My Hero Academia is still on the charts, okay, at number 18 with 18,793, bringing its total to 631. Not bad. We got Witch Watch on the charts as well. That's dope. That's good. Witch Watch, I think it'll last. It's starting to look like it's going to last. It was a little shaky for a little bit. I thought it was going to be out of here, but 20,000 in 4 days, not bad at all. Detective Conan in 21 days, 431,000 with 23 this week. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Sakamoto Days, hey, in 4 days, 25,000. Let's go, baby. That's what I want to see. I want to see Sakamoto lasting. Then we got Sosei no Myoji, isn't that's Twin Star Exorcist if I'm not mistaken, 27,000 in 4 days. Man, that manga been going on for a little bit now. Then we got the top 10. We got Dragon Quest Dai no Daiboken, which is that just like a re-release of the Dragon Quest manga? Like, I'm not sure what that is, but that's 30,000 this week in 4 days. Not bad at all. And I can't tell, like, it doesn't look like art that I'm familiar with from the show, but it says Dragon Quest Dai no Daiboken Yusha Avon to, oh, maybe it's a prequel manga about Avon's adventures. I'm not sure. Then what the hell is this? Wait, what the hell is this at number 9? It looks like The Fable, The Second Contact 1. I thought that was live action for a moment. Okay. Looks like some type of either delinquent or Yakuza type of manga. Then we got at number 7, Spy X Family 8, a special edition. Oh god. So what the hell did the regular edition did? 40,000 on a special edition of volume 8. The Elusive Samurai there making moves, so that's definitely gonna last. 41,000. Then number 4, the milkage of the old one-shots of Tatsuki Fujimoto. This time it's 22 to 26. And somebody informed me that these one-shot books that are with those numbers, that's the ages that he drew these one-shots. And that's why it's called 22 to 26, because that was the age that he drew these one-shots. That's what somebody told me. I'm not sure if that's accurate, but that does make sense. Then top 3, which that's wild, that Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 17 had been in here for a while. It's been a while. And number 3, 46,000 more with 1.5 million. I'd imagine that trailer for Jujutsu Kaisen 0 definitely gave it a boost, because it should not be here. Like, it came out, when did this come out? It came out October 4th, so it's been well over, like, yeah, that shouldn't be top 3 either. That's really good. Really, really good for it. Then top 2, Dr. Stone, number 23, with 107,000 this week for its debut. Dope stuff. And then number 1, Spy X Family, Volume 8, in 4 days, 354,000 copies. Congrats to Spy X Family. Really dope stuff. Honestly, very interesting. Top 50 best-selling manga this week. A lot of newer titles. It shows that the newbies of Jump are starting to rise. Not only like, you know, Marshall, but also series like Elusive Samurai is doing pretty well. Like, there's some new guns that are actually starting to take off. Witch Watch, like, shout outs to them. Okay, people, next up, I didn't like hearing this. I don't like when they take the author and keep the author in the dark about things, let alone about something this big, because apparently the creator of Gantz didn't find out who was directing the Hollywood live-action adaptation of his film until just, like, not that long ago. Like, he should have been one of the first people, and instead, he just found out recently. It says, Gantz creator didn't know who was directing the Hollywood live-action adaptation. On Twitter, Gantz manga creator Hiroya Oku shared the news last week that Julius Avery, live-action 2018 Overlord film Son of a Gun, will direct Sony Pictures' planned live-action adaptation of Gantz. He then added, "This is my first time hearing it." He clarified in a follow-up tweet that he agreed to the contract a long time ago, but he did not know that things were moving along. So essentially, they were moving along with the adaptation of his story that he created without even telling him anything. I don't like that. If there's a creative that actually created things, especially if you want the best product, but in general, out of respect, you always tell the creators, hey, this is what we're doing with your work. Hey, it's moving along. You don't keep them in the dark. That's really corny, lame, and arguably disgusting, just to be honest with you. Deadline reported last week that Temple Hill is producing the adaptation and that the project is in early development with no start date set yet. And yeah, I don't know, that's really egregious, to be honest with you, to exclude the author to that point that, oh, I'm just now hearing it along with you guys that this is who's directing the film. Like, that, no, that's not cool, especially considering the Gantz creator. He's already regarded as like a legend. Like, Gantz is huge, and he's had some big titles after that. Inuyashiki, I always gotta stress, that shit is the bomb. Inuyashiki, amazing, go check it out. But yeah, you don't do that to a creative. You gotta always inform them every step of the process, especially if they want to be involved. Like, no. Next up, we got an update on the Orient anime from the creator of Magi. It says, Adventure TV anime Orient unveils main visual. The staff of the TV anime of Shinobu Otaka's Orient manga revealed the main visual, and it looks pretty freaking dope. Again, this doesn't look as high quality as some of the other ones, but yeah, I got some of the main characters, and again, art reminiscent of, you know, Magi and stuff like that. And of course, the show will premiere in January 2022 on TV Tokyo and ATX, and of course Crunchyroll will stream the anime. And like I said before, I'll say it again, I am going to check it out. It doesn't look like it's going to have the craziest budget in the world, just being honest with you. The more and more I'm looking at it, the art and animation doesn't look like it's going to be stellar, but I'm still excited, and I know that there is somewhat of a push for it. That's why they put it in the Besatsu Shonen magazine, to kind of be a replacement, even though there's no replacing Attack on Titan. But with Attack on Titan ending, they pushed this into that magazine, made it a monthly series from a weekly series, and it's kind of like the lead manga in that magazine right now, because Shinobu Otaka has a pretty significant name. A lot of people love her from Magi, and yeah, I think there's going to be a big push. And I think if this season actually turns to be a success, and it gets the second season, I could imagine like what they did with Magi, how like season 1, I think they did like, they cut a whole bunch of corners and added filler, and then in season 2 they kind of got it right. Maybe it could be the same thing. Again, I don't want to count it out early. It's just that from the trailers and stuff I'd seen, it didn't look insane or anything like that, but it doesn't necessarily need to look insane. If it's a really dope story and it's aight, then so be it. And either way, I'm very excited. I love Shinobu Otaka's stuff. Okay, people, and last story of the episode. New JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stone Ocean short stories manga by Kimono Jihen creator Sho Aimoto coming to Ultra Jump magazine. It's titled Fujiko no Kimyo na Shosei Jutsu, aka White Snake no Gosan, first and only chapter out in Ultra Jump #1, released December 18th. So it might only just be like a one-shot. That's a little weird of a framing of like it's first and only chapter out in Ultra Jump, or do they just mean it's the first chapter? And the art from it looks a little like zany, doesn't necessarily look as like defined or masculine, I guess you would say, as Araki's art. So there's that. But yeah, new JoJo manga, kind of, I'm imagining that's a cross promo with, you know, the anime coming out around that time. So I'm excited for that. And either way, more JoJos is always a good thing. You know what I'm saying? I love me some JoJos, especially like Stone Ocean. I can't freaking wait. I can't wait. And yeah, people, those are all the stories we have for today's episode. I'm curious what you guys think. What was the most interesting story that caught your eye, or just in general, anything in particular that you want me to add into the next FORNEVER News episode, something that you've been dying to see me cover and I haven't talked about it, or a particular avenue in the anime and manga industry realm that I'm just not touching up on? Let me know. But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Hit that bell to get all notifications. And if you want to follow any of my other social media, links are in the description below. I'm FORNEVER World, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule: anime and manga for life, boy. Have an awesome day. Peace in, and you guys just watched another episode of FORNEVER News. Have an awesome day.